Wildcats in this one. All right, we've got a showdown game going on Saturday night. This is the big one. Notre Dame playing at Florida State. Florida State opened early 14-point favorite. Early money on the Irish down to 11.5. Boy, Notre Dame's getting, for an undefeated team with all that history, they're getting no respect with this kind of betting number. 6-0, the Irish are. Terrific job Brian Kelly has done on the defense since he's been there. They've been great the last 2 years, and once again, 17.2 points per game. That's 8th in the country. In fact, they were 3rd in the country in points allowed until last week's game against North Carolina, 50-43. They had to play that no-huddle up-tempo game that North Carolina does. Ended up with 519 yards, but it ended up having 3 turnovers, which is certainly a concern, and they forced a couple of turnovers. But overall, Everett Golson doing a terrific job back after a 1-year hiatus, 16 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And, you know, Jeff, the Irish, very tough matchup for a lot of teams. They're a tough physical team. They don't rely on one thing on offense. And Florida State, are they as dominant, though, as they were a year ago to justify this kind of line?
Yeah, you get the feeling Florida State hasn't put it all together yet. Plus, now with the Mississippi State #1 team in the country in one point, it might give the Seminoles some more motivation this week. Notre Dame certainly has some issues on defense on Saturday, and it's 50-43 win over North Carolina. Coach Kelly chalked it up to inexperience and lack of depth in the secondary. Plus, the Tar Heels ran about 90 plays, which would tire out most defenses. Everett Golson was 21-38 with interception. He had 300 passing yards and 3 TDs. The Irish gained 206 yards on the ground, but gave up 241. The question is, will Notre Dame learn from this game on Saturday on the defensive side, or will it be a problem next week against the Florida State? Last week, Florida State's only 1-5 against the spread, but last week Rashad Green, the wide receiver, became their all-time leader in receptions, and tight end Nick O'Leary became the career leader at his position in receptions. Jameis Winston was 30 of 36, 317 yards versus Syracuse. The last time these teams played was in the 2011 Champs Sports Bowl, and Florida State won that game 18-14. It was the second season for both Jimbo Fisher and Brian Kelly at their schools. I think with the shaky defense Notre Dame showed on Saturday, plus playing on the road, plus the extra motivation for Florida State, losing the #1 ranking, it is a high line, but I would give the edge here to Florida State, although it's not going to be a big play for me, John.
Okay, here's a game where I backed Notre Dame a couple of years ago against Alabama in that title game, and boy, they got steamrolled. So here they are, not playing an SEC team here, but they're stepping up to play defending national champ. So I would lean toward them, but be very careful because they didn't show much against that Bama team 2 years ago. The thing about Florida State that I wonder, first of all, Jameis Winston not having the kind of sizzling numbers he was sizzling last week, but overall 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, more turnovers than he had a year ago. And then the defense has taken a bit of a step back. They were tops in the nation in points allowed last year. They lost Timmy Jernigan to the NFL. Still a lot of talent, but they've slipped this year, giving up 20.8 points per game. That now ranks 35th. They hung on in overtime to beat Clemson, 23-17, and even last week's game against Syracuse, 38-20, but they gave up over 400 yards, and the offense had 2 turnovers, and Syracuse turned it over 3 times. So I still wonder, like you, has Florida State put it all together yet? Are they laying in the weeds and ready to do it in a marquee game like this? Or are there some chinks in the armor, which we really didn't see a year ago? So Florida State certainly has been an undervalued defending champ, which happens all the time, 1-6 against the spread run. And as far as totals are concerned, boy, Notre Dame 37-16-1 run under the total when they go on the road. 27-11-1 under the total. Florida State is also on a 6-2 run under the total. That's 15-6 under in non-conference competition. And the Seminoles do play their best defense here at home on a 4-0 run under the total. So a small lean toward Notre Dame, but I will also take a stand on Florida State Notre Dame going under the total. All right, let's get to some best bets and tell you what we have going on for the weekend. Jeff, you got a pair of packages coming up, plus a best bet for the weekend.
Well, the best bet on the show is going to be Kansas State. This week at JimFeist.com, I have a college 3-pack, plus I have a conference game of the year. I've won 2 out of 3 in those games. Also, call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916. You can sign up for a week, a month, a season. NBA is coming up. You can sign up for the NBA plus college basketball. So make sure you call LVSS at 1-866-575-8916.
Yeah, that's free picks on that free recorded message from Jeff, and you get them every day. My best bet is going to be the Iowa-Maryland game on Saturday. Iowa, a road dog of 5 here, and I'll back the Hawkeyes. This is a 5-1 team, and they're facing a Maryland team that gave up 40 points in a loss to West Virginia. They're coming off a game where they got blown out by Ohio State, and you got a Maryland team that is 1-5 against the spread at home. Maryland is coming in off a bye week, but who cares? They're 0-7 against the spread, the Terrapins are, after a bye week. And the thing about Iowa is they're a team to fade at home. They're overvalued at home, but they're a great defensive team, and they're terrific on the road. Currently 8-0 against the spread on the road. Here they are, a home dog at Maryland. I think they probably win the game, but it's certainly going to be close. Free bet pick for Saturday, the underdog Iowa Hawkeyes against Maryland. And Jim Feist has a 3-pack of college plays coming up on Saturday, and he's got another NFL high roller release going on Sunday in the NFL. He's coming off that high roller total in the NFL. It was a no sweat winner with the Ravens-Bucks game over the total, 48-17. Make sure you check out that and more, as well as Thursday and Friday games, all at jimfeist.com. That'll do it for the college football version of ProLine. We will see you next week with another edition. Good luck with the games, and we'll see you then.